Hi, family. Welcome to our Thursday night live post World Championship Budapest. First of all, I got to welcome everybody out here this evening that's going to join the live. I just want to welcome you guys. I must also apologize for being missing in action, not having our last Thursday broadcast, coming back from Budapest, being tired, just wanting to lay down, and it actually got slip up and stuff like that. So, of course, I have to apologize, my people, for not joining, but we couldn't let this week pass without, being here to tell you guys what happened, to let you guys know that, guess what? We had an amazing time in Budapest. We have to congratulate our athletes, of course. They came out, they did exceptionally well. They did their best, and of course, we can't beat them up. Um, so we're going to be talking tonight. We're going to be talking about some diamond leagues that have been happening for the past week or 2 weeks, for the past week, and some future diamond leagues. We have Brussels starting, I think today,
Tomorrow.
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 And we have the final leg of the Diamond League, which is the Prefontaine Classic in Eugene, Oregon, which promises to be huge. Of course, we have our resident analyst, big up yourself, WADE, Wade Weathers, of course, always joining. The man know him stuff, people. The man know him stuff. Him got him think pat. So of course he's gonna be educating us tonight, of course. And we're definitely gonna be talking. Welcome, Wade, and what's up?
Hey, Sunset. I am good. Uh, Ready to get into the championships to talk about what was, what could have been, and definitely to talk about what is happening in the world of sports. Some major news came out of a press conference today in Brussels. So just ready to get into it and see exactly to discuss exactly what's happening there in the world of sports. This is our sport. This is what we live for on a day-to-day basis. So it's always a pleasure to be with you, to be with the audience, and to talk about just regular track and field.
Awesome. And Wade, of course, we have to remind the people to go subscribe, people. We're almost at 1,000. I need your support. I need to get to 1,000. And if there's anything that you can tell us that we can do better to get to that and to make you guys happy, let us know. Also, go share the content, share it on your Instagram, share it on your Facebook, share it in your WhatsApp, and encourage your friends, family, and everybody to join. Even if they don't like sports, encourage them to join so that, of course, they can like sports. And also, just to add in that schoolboy football season is about to start. So we're not only a track and field channel, but we're sports. So of course we're going to be looking into schoolboy football. We're going to have live sessions, just like Road to Budapest. We're going to have some of that where analysts come on and talk about schoolboy football. So I definitely want you all to join. All right, Wade, World Championship. How much medals we ended with?
We ended with 12 medals, one less than my prediction.
Mm-hmm.
But not telling a lie, the prediction fully mash up because how I predicted and who I predicted to get to 13 medals. Some of the persons were there, some were not there. However, what we ended with was our second best medal tally ever for any major championships, ending at 12 medals. Our best tally is at 13 that we ended with in 2009 at the Daegu World Championships. So it was a real good outing for the team to have come away with 12 medals.
Definitely, it was a championship to be remembered. It was amazing. And you know what was fun about it, Wade, was the fact that a lot of the newbies, they showcase their stuff and
They
they
stepped
came
up
to
and
the
they did.
front.
Yeah,
Yes, and they did their thing. You know, we had a couple of injuries going on and stuff
yeah,
like
that
that,
was
and a
really
couple
sad
of
for the team.
mishaps. Yeah, but I mean, the young athletes, for me, the first timers, you know, that was just the show for me. You know,
Most
just seeing
definitely.
the first timers, Nikisha Price, um, Antonio Watson, Roshan Clark,
Jaden Hibbert.
Jaden Hibbert. I mean, it was just so amazing. And of course, the seniors were there doing their thing. We have to big up Sharika, Shelley,
Hansel
a lot of the
Parchment.
athletes, I don't want to leave out anybody. I shouldn't even start calling any name and get myself in any trouble. But I want to big them up. I want to highlight them because trust me, our athletes, and I have to say our athletes because they're our people, and they did very well as Jamaicans. But outside of just the Jamaican athletes, we have some Caribbean athletes. Julian Alfred, when I look at her, she stepped up and she did her thing and she made her country proud and she made the Caribbean proud. And
I
of course,
mean,
yeah,
Karen McMaster.
yes, yes,
Landon Victor
yes,
from Grenada.
yes, they did very, very
I
well.
mean,
And
looking at the championships overall, Sunset, as a huge sports fan, I love of the sport. If I were to rate the championship overall and not just any one team, I would definitely say the championship was really up there. I would have given the championship a 8 out of 100, or out of 10 rather. It was really a good championship. I know there were several concerns, and I too had my concerns when a lot of the big names or the more familiar dominant names in particular events indicated that they would have not been at the championships to perform this year. A lot of people was like, "Oh my God, the World Championships is going to be boring. It's not going to produce what it was, that what it lived up to in terms of the hype." But it did perform. It did rise. What it also did was it gave a lot of athletes the opportunity to come through and to actually make a name for themselves. It was really a good championship overall. For the Caribbean, it was a very good championship. You may Sadia Williams in the 400-meter making it to the podium. Landon Victor also making it to the podium in the decathlon. We had good representation. Karani James, even though he was disqualified in the 400 meters, very good performance there as well. Julian Alfred coming from St. Lucia. We know she has Jamaican roots in terms of her educational background, but at the end of the day, home is home because the United States can claim a lot of our athletes who would have gone on the NCCA circuit. But home is home, and for her to have gone to both the 100 and the 200-meter finals after such a long NCCA season, it really said that she did put in the work.
yeah,
What we saw on the circuit from her at the collegiate level, it really put it into perspective to say, hey, she's definitely one to watch out for in the future. I know a lot of people would have been disappointed, especially in the 100, to see how it really turned out at the end. But for me, while I had a little taste of sour in my mouth, at the end of the day, it is the sport. Everybody who faces the starter has the potential to cross the line first. It's
yeah.
just really who get there. And then I think the celebration with everybody there, the top three, they are celebrating. And I'm not sure if the meme that was going around with Shelly saying, how long America don't win, and Sha'Carri say this because of you. I'm not sure if that was the actual conversation, but what
I
I can
don't
tell
think
you,
it was.
I doubt it was the actual conversation, but it was funny and it
Yeah.
really showed that the sport is really a loving thing to be a part of, to be a fan of, to enjoy, and the championship really brought that home.
I mean, I can totally agree with you, Wade. I mean, a lot of persons weren't looking. Well, I have to say, a lot of persons, especially Jamaicans, were not looking for Sha'Carri to come through. And of course, I watched her through the rounds, and she came through at the end in out of lane 9. I have to say I didn't even catch her coming down because, of course, she's in lane 9. I probably would want to think if you're not shooting America, and you're not shooting wide as a photographer, you probably wouldn't catch her yourself, but she came through. And for me, the celebration, it says a lot about us as humans, because when you go on the track, you don't leave anything out there in terms of you didn't go before and put on a medal to say, well, this is
I'm
my
coming to take it up back.
exactly. You go out there, you don't know what is going to happen. But I really felt good about the celebration. I felt good about Sha'Carri. She went out there and she did her thing and she got her gold medal. And her celebration wasn't one of revenge. To say, ha ha, see me come beat, I wanna feel like, she was just really humble about it. And the Jamaicans were,
Welcomed her.
yes. So, of course, kudos, guys. I mean, this is what the sport is all about, and at the end of the day, we have younger athletes coming up that will want to allow them to feel like, look, this is what it is about. We don't need the
Most definitely.
violence, we don't need the fighting, we don't need the name calling and the throwing of shades. It's all about love and fun in the sport. And I mean, we have to big up World Athletics, because they really put the thing together. And I mean, it was my first World Championship. And of course, I can say it's the best World Championship so far because it's my first. But of course, I mean, the stadium was beautiful. I mean, oh my God, the stadium. And as a media person, I have to say that the stadium, there was a place for us. We felt like we were a part of it. And I know other sports and media persons, sports photographers, media personals, they can actually say the same thing, you know. So we have to big up World Athletics. We have to big up hashtag Budapest. They did their thing. It's a beautiful country, really. It is very beautiful. I have,
What did you eat?
well, I can't say it on the live, I can't say it on the live, really. Because the people them going cry shame of me. Because I went to Budapest and I ate burger, McDonald's, I ate Burger King, and I ate KFC. I have to stick to the evil that I know.
You
So,
didn't bring any hot pepper sauce?
oh no, I did not. So people don't beat me up, don't beat me up. They get what I'm saying, because I am far away from home. I'm not going to take any chance and I have to go to work the next day. But I have to say, the buildings were amazing, really, really beautiful. And it's a very nice country. The people, they are nice. So kudos, World Athletics, thank you so much for the opportunity. So we just want to tell you, big up on yourself. Of course, I have to jump to the comment section and I have to welcome, the resident person in the comment section. Monique, big up yourself. Welcome, Tammy. Welcome, 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 welcome. Tammy said after being served humble pie more than a few times, she has learned I'm sorry, valuable lesson. And I
Tammy a
want
lick
to
at
think
those
she's probably
sunset.
talking about
Sunset Tammy a
Sha'Carri.
lick real hot.
That's what Tammy she gone.
Tammy a lick real hot.
But I mean, there is so much that we have to talk about. I want to look at the 400-meter hurdles. And Wade, what are your thoughts?
The 400-meter hurdles lived up to what was expected in terms of where the medals went. No surprise really came out of the 400 meters, in all honesty there. I mean, Venke Bowl was unbeatable all season. in the absence of Sydney McLaughlin, I doubt she would have been caught. And it was more of a strategic race from her than her typical race where she would have just gone out hard and everybody would have to run to catch her. For her, it was a strategic race. She was well timed. She knew where to accelerate, knew what to do to ensure that she got to the line first. Very good, very good time that she would have run. A lot of people would have not known, but Shamira Little, who picked up the silver medal, has been around for a long time. The Delilah Muhammad and Sydney McLaughlin would have overshadowed her and her performance. She started out as a 400-meter runner and then converted to the 400-meter hurdles. She ran a blistering time. She went very fast, very hard, very strategic as well, coming from one of the outer lanes along with Rochelle. And she ended up on the podium. The thing with the Americans is that you can always expect them to be there. So I was not surprised that she had one of the better PBs in the field. She had the second fastest PB apart from Thank Bone in the field. So it makes sense that she would really come second. For the Jamaican ladies, I on the live before, I said that Antoinette Knight looked the better of the Jamaican ladies. I know Rochelle Clayton. Rochelle Clayton is a championship performer. And her taste of success in 2019 when she made it to the podium, from then she has been consistent. She has been pushing towards the goal. What I did not see coming was 52.82, which is now her new PB, and that makes her the third fastest Jamaican woman behind Million Walker and Dion Hemmings McCarthy. That I did not see coming. However, I am extremely happy for Rochelle.
Yeah.
When I saw the semifinals, I said Rochelle looks the better of the three Jamaican women, but I was not ruling out Genevieve Russell. Rochelle went out there. She was out in, I think she was in lane 9, lane 8, or lane 9. She knew she would have to run a race up for herself and focus on herself. And she did just that. A new PB, the fastest Jamaican woman for the longest while since Khalees Spencer would have left the 400-meter hurdles, a bronze medal. And she has topped it up throughout the rest of the season, winning, performing consistently.
Yes.
Very good job there for Rochelle. For the other ladies in the field, a little underwhelming at their placement, but there is nothing like making a championship finals. For Antoinette Knight, this would have been her first major championship. Remember,
Yeah.
last year she fell at the seventh hurdle before coming around after leading the race. This would have been her first major championship. She made it to the finals. Stuff happened and she ended up where she ended up. At the end of the day, what you want is to make a championship finals. It sets up your career. It sets up your opportunity to go into meets. It sets up your opportunity to make more money. And so for her, kudos to her, her first major championships being in the finals. Genevieve Russell, always there, thereabout, always making it to the final. I'm hoping that she can find it in one of these finals so she can make it to the podium,
Yes.
because she has been there for a while now. I think it's time for her to taste that level of gold at the World or Olympic Championships. We know she's a double Commonwealth champion, so she is not new to the podium. But I would have really hoped for her, as well as Antoinette, to actually place up there, probably fourth, fifth. So Jamaica get third, fourth, fifth. I might be a little bit greedy, but that was really the expectation coming out of the race. But congratulations to all the three ladies. They did well. They represented well.
Talk to us about the men.
Now, the men's 400-meter hurdles. I told y'all that that was the event that I was really looking forward to for the championship. So for me, it was okay, sit down, enjoy. And especially after the semifinals, I was like, oh, wow, I'm really going to have to sit down to enjoy. No surprise in the winner being Kastan Barhom, the world record holder.
Right.
He is one that is very hard to beat. I know post World Championship he has been beaten by Matt Master, so that's definitely something to look out for when they meet again. In terms of the semifinals, where Rashawn Clark run that 47:34, which is now the new national record as well as the world junior record.
Yes, that's a big
Sunset,
deal.
I am going to tell you something that I do not say out loud in public. Tears came to my eyes. I was so
I
happy
felt
to
that
see that
one.
moment.
Yes.
How he ran that race, he knew that the guy in that race to keep up with Barholm from would have been Barholm from Norway. And he went out and he kept all the way up with him to a clear second place, a clear world junior record, a clear new Jamaican national record, a clear
Yeah.
place in the finals. It was a little disappointing that Jahil Hyde, his good friend and role model, did not make it there. But at the
Yes.
end of the day, he did. It was an opportunity for him. And to see him coming fourth in the final overall
That's
was
another
also
big deal.
ecstatic for
Yes.
me. This is his first World Championships. He not just only made it to the finals, he broke a World Junior record, he broke a national
Mhm.
record. He came fourth in the finals. He's 19 years old. He does not have the experience as some of the more senior runners on
Right.
on the team. He does not have the whereabout to say, okay, cool, at a major championship where a lot of people were impacted by the weather and a lot of other factors that were happening down there in Budapest. He went out there and said, hey, I am here for me and I am going to do me. I'm going to do the race how I feel and I'm going to go out there and perform. Congratulations to Rashawn. He did extremely well.
Yes.
Outside of that, looking at the field though, Sunset, that was one of the best field that I've seen assembled for
In a
400 meter
long
hurdles in
time.
my history of watching sport. The world record holder, the second fastest man, which have been Roy Benjamin, the third fastest man, which have been the Santos, Karen McMaster, who was the eighth fastest man going into the championships. The Americans, the other American, CJ Allen, was performing very well. Uh, and those guys went to the finals, and Barham said, listen, you will have to beat me for my title, but I'm not going to give it up. But then when you look and saw Karen McMaster coming through to get the silver medal, for me, that was one of the moments of the championships. I've watched Karen McMaster over the years running from his junior days leading up to where he is now, coming fourth at major championships, coming fifth, coming sixth. And to see this year being his breakthrough year, where he not only made the finals, surpassed his usual placings of fourth and fifth, to come second, to finishing ahead of the second fastest man in history, ahead of the third fastest man in history, running the world junior record to get that silver medal. It was a wonderful moment for me to see the man from the British Virgin Islands actually making it to the podium in such a spectacular form. And so for me, it really lived up to the expectation that I had for the race, and it was a very good performance from Rashad Clark.
It was. And I mean, of course, when I saw it, I was there. I was at the finish line. I was like, oh my God, this can't be real. And I mean, as you said, he's young. He's only 19.
Only
So
19.
he has a lot ahead of him. I really wanted to have his coach here tonight to talk about, Rashawn, but hopefully we'll catch him. Hopefully we'll catch Rashawn, to talk to us, to let us know what was going through his head. Because I really want to know, I really want to talk to some of these athletes to find out what's going through your head, at some point. And if anybody here or anybody that you can make a link, I would love to have Sha'Carri here. I would love to have her on this live one of these evenings to talk to her because I want to know what was going through her head in lane 9.
I mean, Lane Dan is a lucky lane, when Van Niekerk won the World Championships and broke the world record from lane 9.
And Megan won out of it at the last the championship. I think it was last year.
The national
Megan,
champion. And she also got, I think that's where she got her bronze medal from at the Olympics as well.
Because
I mean,
nobody's really looking for you in
Hans,
lane 9.
it wasn't it where Hans the Parchment won from too?
No, Hans, I don't remember.
When he won the Olympics, it was 8 or 9, one of those two.
We'll have to go check and find out.
Yeah, ask
Sniper in the
Monique in the chat. You
building.
know, Monique is in the chat. Ask Monique in the chat to keep us honest.
Monique, can you check and let us know which lane Hansel won his Olympic medal from? Please. We should probably use that as a question to win a prize. Big up yourself, LG Sniper in the building. Thank you for joining. Sniper, sniper, sniper. My other photographer friend, big up yourself. We're out there, you know. Monique said, what's the prize? Give us the answer and we'll let you know the prize. Wait, let us look at the 200 for women.
The 200 meters for women, no surprise there. It matched up to the expectation that we were hoping. We knew it would have been Sherika and Gabby Thomas. The third place was really open to who would have come in third. The 100-meter champion ultimately came through the field and took the bronze medal. A lot of people are happy, a lot of people are disappointed in Sherika's performance that she didn't attain the world record. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I know she has made a statement that she's going after the world record tomorrow. And I'll be here watching to see exactly how she performs. For me, looking at Sherika, I think the first 100 meters is where it will make her break that world record. And so she will need someone that will be able to go out very fast, that she will have to run down. If she's going to have to go and run from the start for that 100 meter for the world record, it's going to be a little bit challenging than what a lot of people would think. Outside of that, though, at the World Championship, 21:41 is no joke.
That's a big deal.
21:41 is no joke.
And
when I say 21:41 is no joke, I mean that literally, because some of our tenured male athletes at 200 meters is not even running that. Much less Sherika Jackson running 21:41 in a World Championship finals after running 3 runs after 100 meters, 2 runs after 200 meters. In Budapest, where there is a heat problem, where after the interview she said that her sinus was draining and so it was affecting her. It was a spectacular time, the second fastest time in history, and very close to the world record. So it is there. The world record is there. Let us not worry about it. If it comes tomorrow, it comes tomorrow. If it doesn't come tomorrow, it is there. But the 200 meter really lived up to what we expected, which would have been Sherika Jackson crossing the line in front, Gabby Thomas closely behind, and the third place medal opening up. I would have hoped that Talu would have sneaked in and made it to the podium, but it so happened that Sha'Carri Richardson actually got there. What we also have to look on is the fact that 21:82 and 21:81 and 21:82, which was the time for second and third place, is also good times. We have only had 4 women in the world to run that time so far this year, and that was the finals. So what we are looking at, it there are only 4 women who have gone faster than that, who have gone that time or faster this year. It tells you that that time could have easily won the World Championship finals as well. It was really a good race, an ecstatic performance from Sherika Jackson, a new championship record, lowering her own championship record from last year. Congratulations to Sherika on a job well done, securing that gold medal that we knew would have come back home to Jamaica, and cementing her dominance that, hey, when it comes to the 200 meters, the name to beat is Sherika Jackson.
That is a fact. Monique said that's why she couldn't move. And I mean, she was there for a while. She was just looking at the replay like, oh my God, did I really run 21:41?
She was tired. I mean, 21:41, she was definitely tired. And then she did an interview, so local Jamaica would have seen it, that she was having a sinus infection. affecting her down there. So therefore, she was not feeling her best either. So you can imagine if she was feeling her best.
The record would have been.
I still believe that we're going to get. I still do believe though that we're going to get to 21:33. It's just when.
Yeah. Tammy say Hansel won from lane 6 in 2020.
All right, so we
Yeah,
stand
so
corrected on that one.
all right. Um, I mean, for the 100 and the 200, again, we have, Noah Lyles coming out there doing his thing. But one thing for me in the 100 that was very surprising was Fred Curley not making it to the finals.
I mean, I mean, big up to Davian wherever he is. He's not here tonight, but big up to Davian. We said this, Davian. So Sunset is surprised, but I'm not surprised. I know wherever he is, he's not surprised as well. Fred Curley never showed the form that Fred Curley, who won the world championship, showed all season. Over the 100 meters, he has never broken the 10:9 barrier to get down to, well, he ran 9:88, but he did not do it in a way that was convincing to say Fred Curley will show up at the World Championship, be the defending champion, and he will perform to the level. Um, I'm a little surprised that Noah Lyles won the 100 meter at the World Championship. A little surprised, but I did not expect Fred Curley to be there. When you talk about the men's 100 meters, first thing first, I have to big up Oblique Seville. A lot of people are saying, okay, Oblique fourth place
Yes.
Seville, Oblique fourth place Seville. Listen, man, the young man went out in the very first round looking very easy, running a very good race. Coming back in the semifinals, running a very good race. Coming back into the finals, running a very good race. He was off the podium by point 0.2 of a second to the reaction time to the tape. So therefore, at the end of the day, that fourth place, even though looking at the race from our eye, and he said it too, it could have been a different outcome if he had not dipped at such an early stage. But the young man is very young. He will get there eventually. I believe that this is a learning lesson. Last year was his first championship he came for. This year, his second championship. He knew what he did wrong because he said it in the post
And
interview
this
for the
year looks
Racers.
better than last year.
This year looks better than last year, and
Yes.
I'm happy to see that for the remainder of the season. He's also running. Last year after the championship, he closed his season and went back home. This year he's in Europe running consistent
Yes.
at the 10-second mark. So that's good for him. For me, I am going to say that I was very pleased with the 100 meter from a Jamaican perspective, in that we had Raheem Ford in the 100 meter.
Yes.
A lot of people might not remember, but his name was Robertson when he was going to JC, and he now changed his name to Ford. In 2019, Seville was first at champs in the class 100, and Raheem was
Yes.
second. So
Yes.
therefore, they are used to each other and going through the champ system, running against each other. Making it to the World Championship finals at age 21 years old, running 9:95, looking good. Very, very, very good for Jamaica for male sprinting at the global level. Two men in the finals after the 100 meter is something that we have not seen for a while now. Not going to say a long time, but I'm going to say for a while. There were a lot of concerns about what will sprinting be on the men's side for Jamaica, because at the junior level, we can definitely tell you that the succession plan on the female side is there. We have the Alana Reid, the Clayton twins, the Serena Cole, the Brianna Liston. Even right now, the Brianna Williams. We have Kevona
Yes.
Davis. We have an abundance of female sprinters that are coming through and will come up. On the male side, we do see some sprinters. We have Baraji and Krume. We have Sanjay Davidson. We have DeAndre Daly. We have Carr. We have some young man coming through as well. However, the promise looks a little better on the female side than it does on the male side.
Yes, that
Now,
is
when you have two men making it to the finals at the World Championship, you're saying, okay, then the future look brighter than what we really think, man. When we have Civil just missing out on the podium by a dip, the future for Jamaica looks bright on the men's sprinting side. And even though we're at the 100, 200, I'm going to sidetrack a little bit, Sunset, to talk about the men's 4 by 100 meters.
yes.
I don't know if anybody realize I am a numbers man, so therefore I will always be looking at numbers, and age is also a number. The oldest person on the 4 by 100 meter team is 22 years old,
That's a good look.
with the oldest person being 22 years old of the four guys who ran on the 4 by 100 meter team. What that is telling you is that Noah Lyles at 28, Fred Curley at 28, all those other guys who were in the finals, what it's telling you is that in another 2, 3 years, Jamaica will be where we were in our Bolt era when it comes to men's sprinting.
Yeah.
The guys did very well in the 4 by 100 meter, very good bronze medal. We know we need to tighten up the baton passes, and I'm sure the guys will get there over the years with training, practicing, doing the relays at the World Relays, at other events, the Penn Relays, at the Gibson Relays here. What we will see is better passing from our guys as well as the ladies as well. But that 4 by 100 meter team has given me a promise that, hey, we are where we need to be right now when it comes to male sprinting. I just want that to transition over to the 200 meters. 200 meters at the World Championships went according to the script, 100% according to the script. Now, Elias would have won. We were hoping that he would have gotten more competition from Tobago, from Botswana. Tobago ended up coming third, and Aaron Lighton coming in second place. I don't think if anybody else was looking at the podium, I know a lot of people, Andre DeGrasse is a son of Jamaican soil in our hearts, but we knew he was not in the form or the shape to do it this time around. And so it went according to the form book. What did not go according to public opinion was Noah Lyles thinking that he was going to run some bizarre times that were out there. But we
Well,
congratulate him
he said it,
nonetheless.
so we were all looking.
We congratulate him nonetheless.
Yes, 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 yes,
Very
yes.
good. The
That is
first man
correct.
to take home the three medals in the sprint since Usain Bolt did it in
Yes.
2015 at the World Championship. So we congratulate him. And we are also setting a warning with our guys that, hey, don't get too comfortable.
We're coming.
Definitely.
Tammy says, big run oblique. Shem Hall says, I'm proud of Civil. Tammy says, Tammy says, and Tammy, don't bother with it out here, you know. Tammy says, where were all the fresh food people y'all were expecting to medal? Talk
I
up.
think that's a question for Davian, not a question for me. Tommy, when you see Davian come back on the live, you can ask him about that question, all right?
I mean, Tammy, to be honest, the young people that we were, the newbies that we were expecting to medal, they came and they showed up. You
Yeah,
know,
they did. They
they
did.
did the thing. They did
Making
the
it to the
thing. But
semifinals, finishing
yes,
fourth in the semis, running a very close race. And that was a tough semifinals, too.
I
So,
think, Wade, experience is a hell of a thing.
true.
You know, because I looked at Nikisha Price and she looked very good out there, you know,
Yeah.
and she do her thing. And I just think it's a matter of experience, you know, that keeps some of these athletes either out of the finals or even out of the medal.
Nikisha, Nikisha Price is a good example in a sense, but I'm going to be very honest. Nikisha Price was more affected by lane draw rather than her own performance or experience. For the heat, she was placed in lane 9 and she went out and she won her heats. For the semifinals, she was also placed in lane 8. As a winner of her heat, I think she had the fourth fastest time in terms of the winners who would have won their heats. I really was not expecting her to be in lane 8. I was really expecting her to be probably in lane 6 or in lane 5. The thing in lane 8 is that you only see one person, and that person is trying to run to save their life. You are out in an outer lane. You are now going to have to try to straighten up yourself to either go with that one single person
Yeah.
without seeing what's happening behind you in the field. And I think for Sha'Carri, that's what really happened to her. However, she really impressed me at the championships. Sincerely impressed me. And when I say she impressed me, Sunset, I mean Sha'Carri was one of my standout athletes from the Jamaican team.
Yeah,
Mark
she did
you,
very
hands in the
well.
air. I never knew about Sha'Carri until we got to Jamaica trials.
Me too.
So I
No,
had
I
to
knew about
learn
her in
about
terms of
her.
I had to do a little research on
I had
her,
to do a
but
little research too, and then
yeah,
I found out that she's from my alma mater. She went to Tech. Then I found out that she goes to Texas and she runs on their 4x4 teams. And I did a little more research and I realized, okay, cool, she is not just a one hit wonder, she's actually real good. And then I saw her running in the heats, and I'm like, okay, she went out too hard, but then the lane would have caused her to go out as hard as she did. The semifinals set her up to run hard again, and she just didn't make it. First championship, she's also very young. And then she came back on those relays and put down two magnificent legs on
yes,
those relays. And that showed me that even though at the flat 4, she never got it right. With a baton in hand, Sha'Carri is not one to play with. She
to be
is going to
fair.
be mature with a baton in hand, and she is going to take the field by storm. For the other ladies in the 400 meter, Candice McLeod made it as one of the fastest losers to the semifinal. She's a seasoned campaigner, so no surprise there that she would have made it to the finals. And she gave it what she could for that finals. Um, for Cherokee Young, she made it to the semifinals and didn't get an opportunity to advance any further as well. However, it was a good run from her. She went through as one of the faster losers to the semifinals, so it was no surprise when she didn't make it any further. I think on the 4x4 for the heats, she gave a spectacular leg that placed us in a good position in the heats and ran that were leading at the time prior to the finals. For the 400 meters, it is always one of those events that Jamaica will do well in. What we just have is just this dominance at the top. The 400 meters seem to be one of those races that you just find some good persons from all over the place running and doing very well in. I was happy for the overall champion, Madeline Paulino from the Dominican Republic. I think she really did deserve it. Kesmarek from Poland coming through for the second place.
Mhm.
It was when you looked at her throughout the rounds, and for me, I knew she really took it seriously when I didn't see her on the Polish team for the mixed 4x4s because she typically runs in the mixed 4x4s for Poland. When I did not see her, I said, okay, Kazmarek is not having it this year. She is here for a medal, and she is going to do that with the absence of Sydney McLaughlin, with Shawnee Miller-Weber coming back from maternity, coming back to running. Then it really opens the door for a lot of people to come through, and she sees the opportunity. And we mentioned Shade Williams before, who would have repeated her bronze medal from the last World Championships. So I believe that the 400 meters was very well. Based on the time and everything, I had to revisit a previous statement that I made that I don't think Cindy McLaughlin would have won. Looking at the race, I think it would have been very hard to beat her, but that is for Paris and not for Budapest this year. So we will
Exactly.
definitely see how that goes in
Yes,
the
that is
future.
true. Yeah, that is true. Tammy say, me tell you no say mouth cut crossway for say anything, Bowl time and a boy time.
That's
And
right,
of
Tommy.
course, she's making mention to the 100 and 200 men.
So the times that were put out there prior to the championships.
Yeah. Shem says, even though Kevona did not make the final, she did well. And that is true.
And
She did
that is
exceptionally well. Yes.
Sanzet.
It was amazing.
Kevona is one of those athletes that is going to be good in the future.
Yeah.
Um, I was happy to see Kevona at the World Championships. Extremely happy. I've watched Kevona from her days at Edwin Allen, and I know that she is really the real deal. For the 200 meters, I know she loves the 200 meters. I know she needs some work for the 200 meters as well. It was her first championship, one of the younger ones as well. For the first round, she really came out and she showed us Kepona that we are used to. And in the second round, it was just too hard to handle from the semifinals that she was placed in. But what happens when you have these young athletes going to a major championship, tasting what it is like, having the experience, it grows on their confidence. It builds them for time to come. At
Yes.
the age that they are at now, of course, you want to be winning, of course, you want to be doing well, but different persons progress differently and different persons
Yes.
peak
That
differently.
is true.
And the truth about that is when you talk about different persons peaking differently, is Julian Alfred has never won a race at Champs. She has always been beaten by Kevona Davis. Now her time has come and she has peaked, and Kevona is in her dust. The table has turned
Yes.
significantly. It is now her time. Kevona will now be a senior at the University of Texas starting in September. And I believe that this is her year at the NCC. She will produce the times, she will produce, get those form right, work on those things with the coaching staff there that will propel her to do very well. And I believe having the taste that she had of this championship, what we will see is a 2024 Kepona Davis and beyond looking like a true person who will be there to challenge and to say, hey, I am Kepona Davis and I'm here too.
Yeah.
Much big up to Kevona Davis.
Yeah. Nicholas said that you can know him thing, you know. And of course, Nick, that's why we have him on Sanzi Lifestyle Media. Of course. Yeah, people out there not going to take him away. He belongs to Sanzi Lifestyle Media. Good. And welcome, Nick. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Of course, Nicholas was in Budapest doing his thing.
Big up, Nick.
Welcome,
Big
Nick.
up.
Welcome. Wait, we're not going to spend a lot of time, right? There's so much in Budapest that there's so much that happened in Budapest that we would really, really want to talk about, right? And of course, we will not leave out the field event athletes because we're going to
Um,
talk, hold on, we're going to talk about long jump, we're going to talk about high
this
jump, we're going to talk about shot put, discus. We're going to just talk
we're gonna
about
talk about the
all of it
whole field.
in one, yes, because we don't have a lot of time. But we will definitely not leave them up because they were amazing.
All
Let's
right,
start
so
with
Sanjay,
long jump because
let
that's where I am at.
all right then. So let us leave the long jump for last.
No, me want to talk about long jump
Oh,
first.
you want to talk about the long jump
Yes,
first?
because I
All
am
right then. So
very
you see, when
excited
time we're
about
talking
long
about the
jump.
long jump, right
Yes.
now, I don't think 10 Tableau can come to Jamaica any at all. I am not surprised with the outcome of the long jump with 10 Tableau because that is who he is. For the first 5 rounds, he's struggling. He's up there in the top three. He's thereabout. He's close by. And then on the last jump, he pulls it out of the bag. It is his thing. That's how he does it. Uh, the persons who I was watching with when we were watching the drums, they were praying, and I was saying, okay, listen. When it comes to the long jump, I am just going to wait until 10 Tableau takes his last jump and then I can start the celebration, even though I celebrated. The historic nature of the long jump is this first to begin with. Three Jamaican men making it to the finals. Three Jamaican men qualifying to the World Championship is historic in one. Three Jamaican men making it to the final is historic.
Mhm.
Three Jamaican man placing second, third, and fourth is never before
Mhm.
seen in the history of
Amazing.
Jamaica.
Yes.
Listen, man, Sunset, this was a shocker and a wake up call for me because I had the guys done on my paper to produce a bronze medal in the long jump. I never had us to produce a silver medal, a bronze medal, and the chocolate medal, which is the fourth place medal.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Sunset, the guys went, they showed up and they did what they needed to do. And they not only secured Jamaica's history, they secured a spot for themselves and they also fired a warning shot. That
Yes.
warning shot is that look, the Olympics is right around the corner. We are
Mm-hmm.
jumping, we are ready to jump. We are not 100% fit to jump, but guess what happened?
We're
We are
jumping
here. We are
anyways. We're
marking our
jumping
name.
anyways.
We are
Yes.
marking our name in the register.
We're
So therefore,
jumping
we definitely have
anyways.
to congratulate the guys. Big up to Tajay Gale having been champion in
Yes.
2019, and I watched painfully when he tried to make the attempt to defend his title, and I was here cursing my TV to say, no, he needs to stop. He needs to stop. He went back. He did what he needed to do. And even though him lick out a Jamaican to actually get the bronze medal, because he did lick out Kira McLeod to get the bronze medal, at the end of the day, we are all one family, and I'm
Yes.
really happy for him
Very.
pin up with that new PB. That 8:54 is no joke. The Jamaican national record is 8:69 by Tajay Gale. The Jamaican national record before was 8.58 by James Beckford. And then closely behind is Wayne Pinnock at 12.54. So therefore, guys, we are in an
Eight
era
point.
we are jumping. And let us not forget, Sanse, the time to win was not longer than, did not beat
The distance.
that
Rather.
8.54, the winning distance. So therefore, it says that, listen, man, the guys are on fire. Again, they are still young. I'm not sure how much people realize this, but the average age of the Jamaican team to the World Championships was 23 years old.
Mm.
That's the average age. So when you add up the oldest person, Mrs. Fraser-Pryce, and the youngest person at Jaden Hibbert, the average age for the team was 23. And if you round it off, say 24 years old.
Be careful, you know, her name is no Miss Shelley.
No, her name is Podium Price.
No, Miss Shelley.
No, no, no. I going by what I see Mrs. Price put out. You know, she said it is Podium Price. So
Shelley Sha'Carri says Miss Shelley.
no, that
Don't play
well,
with Miss Shelley, you know.
well, guess what happened? Miss Shelley Podium Price. Anyone want to put it? But when you look at the team and getting the average age of 24, it tells you that there is problem arising out of Jamaica when it comes to track and field globally, not just track, but also in the field.
Yeah.
Women's long jump, we had two jumpers there. Tasani Hinklin did not make it to the finals. However, Akeelia Smith did. She ended
Yeah.
up in 11th. Her jump to qualify for the finals was one of the longer jumps there. However, it just didn't happen with the replication for the finals. However, we definitely have to shout her out and congratulate her.
Yes.
She made it to the finals and then she came back to jump for the triple jump.
For the triple jump, yeah.
And so we have to big her up doing two jumps at the World Championship, being a young athlete who would have come off a collegiate season. It
But
says a lot
wait,
for her.
but wait, we had three Jamaican ladies heading to Budapest for the triple jump as well.
This is the second time this is happening because that was the case also for the last World Championships with the three ladies jumping. Uh, it really pained my heart for Shanika Ricketts. It definitely did pain my heart because that's the most consistent series I've ever seen
Yes.
Shanika jump in all my years of watching her. I'm watching Shanika from we usually call her slim as a school. So you tell you how long we are watching her that she's not slim as anymore. So there it was a consistent series that I've ever seen from her. But Sunset, believe you me, my favorite moment of the World Championship is in that event. When you look at Rojas, the world record holder, jumping 14
Struggling.
30 33, 14 27, being the eighth longest jumper and two women were on 14:33. She just happened to have a second longer jump than the other person from the United States. Falling on her fourth attempt, falling on her fifth attempt, and winning on her sixth attempt to win her fourth consecutive world title. That has to be the best way to manage under pressure. She talked
Yeah.
herself into it, and she talked herself into it, and she coached herself into it, and she tell herself how to jump that 15:08, and she talked herself, and she
The,
went
the,
out
the
there.
first time I saw her doing that talking to, I was like, who is she talking to? And I was looking over the thing like, that's crazy. Who is she talking to? But then I realized, she was talking herself into it. She just have a she has a personality that she make you want to cheer for her even if you're not from her country. She's a fun athlete,
She
and
is
I'm
definitely a
happy for
fun
her.
athlete.
I'm happy for her.
Shout out to Kimberly Williams as well in the triple jump. She managed to come
Yeah.
seventh after coming back from injury. Um, a veteran at the sport. I'm sure come next year for the Olympics, she will definitely want to work on that and improve on that. To the triple jump, one of the most disheartening thing at the championship for Jamaica overall was that Jaden Hibbert was unable
Yes.
to take even a mark in the finals after jumping at easy 15:70 to qualify to the finals. He was unable because of his health, his hamstring, and
Yeah.
I appreciated the fact that he did not continue the competition. He is still 18 years old. He is very young, very talented. You do not want that type of talent to mess up
Yes.
just trying to get a medal at the very first championships that they've ever gone to and then mess up for 4 or 5 years to come.
That is true.
Injury is never very well to manage and to handle. And so I completely agreed with the coaching staff to ensure that he did not take any more jumps. I understood from persons who were on the ground that he wanted to actually take the third jump to see, and his coaching staff had to be very forceful with him to say, no, he's not going to take any more jumps. And I appreciate the fact that everyone there was looking out for his best interest and preserving what a bright future he has. Very disappointing for him, but sometimes disappointment is what we need to get to greatness. So
Yes.
therefore, I am still looking and seeing what that young man will produce, because I know that he is going to be one that is going to create a lot of problem at the top of triple jumping in a very short order.
That is true.
Frederick Dacus,
I was just about to say jump to discuss. Yes.
Frederick Dacus coming out as the better Jamaican in the discus, the more seasoned campaigner. He has been to this level. He has a silver medal from the World Championship before. Coming fifth wasn't a bad. He was a team captain, so he did what he had to do on the male side. So he did what he had to do. I think a lot of persons were expecting that it would have been Travis Michael at that level based on performance. But never rule out a champion, never rule out a season campaigner who has the experience. He did very well. Travis also did very well. I think he ended 11th in the field. And so you definitely have to congratulate him as well, because that's really a very good performance to make it to the finals and to be able to attempt your first three throws to see if you can get into the top eight. For the high jump, Lamara Distin, last championship, she was eighth. She has now made it up to fifth with a very good height. Still young as well, the Commonwealth
Yes.
champion, second major championship. She is going to get there and get it right. I really was not expecting her to really touch the top. Malcolm Mooch from Ukraine is very good. Patterson from Australia, along with her other counterpart, they are very good. They have been consistent all year. And so it was really good for her to actually move up. And she looked good doing it too, looked comfortable doing it as well. So
Yeah.
therefore, I know the heights will come in another 2 years or so where she will be able to challenge at the top. Fifth place, very good placing to finish at the championships. Kimberly Williams never made it to the finals there. Daniel Thomas that finishing fifth season campaigner as well. That event was one that was mouth-watering as well. When you had Chase Ely coming out and putting out two big ones very early, you had Gong from China. That woman has won 8 medals in the last 5 world championships. So therefore, she is one that is a season campaigner. She knows how to make it to the
Yes.
podium. So therefore, it was one of those events. I think Danielle could have really gotten there if she had better throws. The rhythm was coming. She really was building up the rhythm because if you look at her series, it's one of her better series as well. Rajendra, I'm not sure exactly what happened there. No mark in the final, even though his coach was saying he was supposed to risk it for the
Risk
biscuit.
it for the biscuit.
Yeah, it just never happened. First major championships as well, long in junior collegiate season coming up, breaking the national record, throwing consistently. I think it will come. It's just really the matter of the experience. I know he was complaining about the weather as well. So we just have to just say, hey, it's just one of those things. It happens. The experience is really what is important. And I think from a field perspective, the Jamaican team on the field side represented us very well. I
And
don't.
wait, let me stop you and I have to interrupt you guys. I don't know if you're heading there, but we have to go over there. Samantha Hall and I don't like to butcher people name, so I'm going to let you call her name in the hammer throw.
At Nayoka Clunes?
That last name, Clunis. We created history. We had someone in the hammer throw.
Yes,
And
yes.
Rafa big her up. She went
Yeah.
out there and she did her thing.
To
You
be
know?
honest, like I never saw those events, but yeah, we have to big them up. Those
Yes.
are not traditional events that you find Jamaica's athletes in. And they got to those events, they did their thing, and they represented Jamaica. Again, the experience is very good.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of lessons to be learned from making it to the World Championship. Go back to the coaching staff, to the drawing board. Look at what you did this season that would have taken you to the World Championship standard and look to see how you can work on it and improve on it. So congratulations to the ladies. At the end of the day, making it to the World Championship, this is one of the biggest stages of the game. It does something to you mentally. You
It
have gone there in
does.
a different capacity, Sandwich, and it has done
And it
something to your
does some
experience. So
exactly. That
therefore,
is
imagine
true.
for an athlete who is
Yes, it's
facing their
true.
competitors,
It's
you're
true.
facing world record holders, you're facing Olympic champions, world champions, European champions, Commonwealth champions. You are facing persons who are at the top of the game and they are doing well. It really does something to inspire you to go to be like them. And so I think it really will be a growing field for these athletes who represented us in these non traditional events that we are not used to from a Jamaican track and field perspective.
And wait, we're gonna close. There's just and I genuinely save these two events for the last, or maybe I can say three, but I really, really want to talk about two, but we'll talk about three because one of them is kind of, you know,
Bittersweet.
no, yeah, no, not necessarily. But the 100-meter hurdles, male and female. So that's hold on, that's kind of one. And then, of course, we're going to talk about this one last. And this one is big for me because I stood at the finish line because I really, really wanted to see this. Because a lot of the finals, I wasn't really at the finish, because I had other duties. But this one, I had to be at the finish because I really wanted to see what was going to happen because I know these athletes can do their thing. But this young man, he made me cry like real tears. And photographers were like, "You're crying." And I'm like, "Yeah."
All right, Sanjay.
And
No
that will
problem.
be
So,
the 400-meter men.
all right, Sanjay. So we're gonna talk about 4 events and
Is
close
it
it out.
four? So we're talking about
100
the
hurdlers,
hurdles, male
110
and
hurdlers,
female.
the 4x4 women, and the 400 men.
So let's intertwine the 4x4 and the 4x1. So it's really five. But we're going to talk about the hurdles because, of course, you know me, I have to bring out alien leg in
All
the
right,
4x1.
Sunset. All
So let's
right.
talk about the hurdles
Make we
where
take it piece by piece.
Daniel stole the show.
All right, Sunset. Let me tell you something. My neighbor is not here, but when the hurdles was starting, I turned to her and I said to her, I am nervous. And whenever I am nervous, it's always a gold medal. So she said, who you think can win? So I said, Akira Nugent, because I now look on Daniel Williams. Sanzet, I am here looking at Akira Nugent, looking at Akira Nugent, looking at Akira Nugent. I realized Akira Nugent didn't make it across the finish line first. So I said, okay, Daniel Williams looks like she come third. Sanzet, when I look up at Daniel Williams, when I had to watch over the race. No, Daniel Williams doesn't know this, but Daniel Williams has a special place in my heart from 2019. Long, 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 long story, so I won't get into it. But what happened to her at the stadium in 2019 when they charged her with a false start, it was just completely wrong. I never agreed with it, having been in the stadium, seeing exactly what happened here in the zone, and see what happened with the zone why she would have moved. And ultimately, she went on in 2019 and got a bronze at the 100-meter hurdles. The 2015 champion, who nobody knew about in 2015, coming through the field, winning, shocking a lot of people. Shortly after Bolt winning the 200 meters at the World Championships back then. Now, Daniel Williams coming into the field with the slowest PB of everybody who's lining up in that 8 lanes. Slowest PB. Season's best, rather, my bad. Slowest season's best coming in. Lining up in lane 2, outside of the traffic of Kenny Harrison, Tommy Amazon, Camacho, Queen, outside of that little excitement. And out of lane 2, she just decided, look, I am going to run my own race and see where it takes me. And it takes her to a familiar place. On the gold medal spot at the podium where she was in 2015. Now, since 2019, Daniel Williams has not looked like Daniel Williams. But Jamaicans have a saying to say, what done that did, not that shit way. She barely made the Jamaican championship team, guys. She barely made it to the Jamaican championships teams when we were at the trials. First and second place was clear. Third place was not clear.
Yeah.
I was in the stadium with all schoolmates who are good friends of hers. And everybody was asking, Ans make it, Ans make it. It looked like Ans make it. And she made it. And to know that you barely qualified for your national championships and becoming the world champion, fantastic. That was the first gold medal for Jamaica at the championship. In the words of my aunt, who was being desperate for a medal, we needed a little fire and we got it, because shortly after we're going to talk about what came after. Hansa Parchment, a seasoned campaigner, knows his way around the track, knows his way how to get things done. Big up to Akira Nugent. Enough big up to Akira Nugent. Very young, coming off a collegiate season, making it to the finals, finishing in 5th place. Big up Akira. She is going to be a monster over those 10 hurdles in a few years' time. All right. Major disappointment for me in the 110-meter hurdles. I had Rashid Broadbell to win.
Yes.
So when I watched that, see Rashid Broadwell turn over Sunset, I decided to listen, let me just now watch no more of the championship, because this cannot just it cannot be like this. But for every disappointment, there comes some level of appreciation. Hansa Parchment is not one of those athletes that you will know what he will do when he will do. He's just one that you know at the 5th hurdle, he's somewhere there about in the race. And when you get to the finish line, you just look to see where he's coming. Hansa Parchment went out there and never got a good start. And by hurdle 5, he was clearly out there in second place. Looking at the race from my perspective, I thought he could have really run down Grant Holloway for that victory. But sometimes the day that you think is your day is really not your day, because we would have seen what he would have done just Sunday gone in China, where he would have run 200 of a second slower than his lifetime best that he ran from 2014. So therefore, Hansa Parchment is saying, listen, I don't really want no world championship title right now. I have an Olympic title to defend next year. So I go make sure that I can represent myself and go up on the podium and do what I need to do. But I am really looking forward to next year. And we are all looking for it with him as well. Major disappointment for Rashid Broadbell. It happens with the hurdles. Bridget Foster Hilton said it that, listen, it is a very good event, very unpredictable event. One wrong move and you're on the floor. We have
Yes,
seen
that
it
is true.
countless times for several big names, for several small names, right across the board. We have seen it. It was a hard blow for Jamaica. But at the end of the day, it happens. It really motivates you to come better next time. And I'm sure he will learn from it and he will come better next time. Shout out to Orlando Bennett, who was the other Jamaican in the event. He didn't make it to the finals, even though he was on the bubble for a slow time to get into the finals. He didn't. But Jamaica represented well. Big up to Hansa Parchment with that silver medal. We knew he would have been on the podium at the championships. He stepped up when his countrymen fell down and decided that, look, I am going to go out there. I'm going to give Jamaica their first. I'm going to give Jamaica a silver medal. It was our first medal because it came before the women's 100 meters. So it really was our first medal at the championship. What I want to say to the Jamaican government is Ansel deserves a national award. He has been there for a while. He has been doing his thing, making his way to the podium. Every finals that he's in, except one final, he has been on the podium. Time to recognize the youth. Now, Sunset, where you say we're going now? We're going to the women's 4x1 and the 4x4.
Yes. Let us talk about the 4x1.
Let us
That
talk about the
leg for
4x1.
Elaine was exceptional in the heats.
Well, guess what, Sunset?
Mm-hmm.
I do not disagree. I cannot disagree. I will not disagree.
Why was Elaine not in the
El-
finals?
Elaine Thompson-herah did an exceptional leg on the backstretch on the second leg for Jamaica. Very easy qualifications for the team, and that is expected with two double Olympic champions, Shelley and Fraser-Pryce and Elaine Thompson-herah. Very good race. Elaine Thompson knew that, listen, I'm going to the championship probably to run one race. And I'm going to show y'all that a lot of the naysayers who are talking online and everywhere else, that my name is Elaine Thompson-herah and I know what Elaine Thompson-herah is capable of. And that's all I'm going to say on that and Elaine Thompson-herah. I think we just need to give the athletes a break. Give them a break. She did exceptionally well. For the finals, I'm going to be very honest here. I believe Shelley should have stopped. Shelley never believes that she should have stopped. But
Shelly's a team player.
I believe Shelley should have stopped. Shelley never believed that she should stop. I am happy to know that it is a level 1 strain, that muscle strain that she would have had in the knee. That will take her some time to get back to. I'm also happy to know that she has ended her season. Next year is an Olympic year. Shelley is getting there. She's getting younger in age, so therefore it doesn't take as easy as some of the younger athletes in age
That
to
is true,
get
and I
back
can
to better health.
I can attest to what Shelly is going through, and I'm not running up and down every day like Shelly.
So,
The knees get older as you get
younger.
older. Right.
So,
So I know
that is why I
Shelly.
say I believe Shelley should have stopped. Shelley says she not stop. She work it for the team, and the team went out there and got a silver medal. I think what we should do is to just look towards the Olympic and know that that world record just needs to go. We have the ladies now. Let us just do some batting practices. Let us just work the team. Do like Italy does. I don't know if people notice this. The Italian men run one 4x1 team, one order everywhere that they go. If they're participating in a Diamond League, one order. World relays, one order. World championship, one order. Olympics, one order. And that is why their baton passes are so swift and their legs are going very well. The British also does that with their women's team as well. They have one team, they typically run them in one order. So for me, I think the Jamaican team need to try to pick up that little trend right there, especially if we are looking to world record.
I really thought they were gonna run the Brianna. I don't care who make the team
I
in
know
a
they wouldn't
whichever
have
way.
run. I
They
know
could
they
have
wouldn't
run the
have run.
Brianna, they could have run the Ilian, they could have run the Shelly, and they could have run the Sharika. They could have
Well,
put
I
Shelly
mean,
on the them could have put Shelly on the anchor leg, Sharika run at the corner, they saw Ilian on the back stretch, and let home girl Brianna start the race. That would have probably been a record for us. And we all know that. But let's move on to the 4x4.
the 4x400 meters. I don't know if we should love Fenke Ball or we should hate Fenke Ball.
Love
I
Femke
mean,
Ball, hate Femke Ball. She is gonna run you down.
I'm gonna be very honest, Sandra. I am happy for the 4x400 meter
After that
ladies.
mixed relay, she better
I,
run and win.
I am happy for the women's 4 by
Yes,
4
they
for
did an
Jamaica.
amazing
For
job. They did.
Jamaica, the ladies went out there from the very first leg. They did what they needed to do. The second leg, it had some room for improvement, but it was a good leg again from Genevieve Russell. The third leg from Nikisha
Stacey and
Price.
Williams killed it. Hands
Let's
down.
hold on before you get to the anchor leg. For me, even though it was not the fastest leg, the third leg from Nikisha Price was an impeccable leg.
She
She
ran.
went out, she got the button, she went out, she measured herself, she measured the field, she kept her pace. When it got to 300 meters, she looked back, she saw where everybody was, she wanted to confirm, she looked up at the big screen, she touched it a little bit more, and it was a whole lot of maturity from a very young lady. Stacey and Williams got the button and she did what she could. And I'm going to repeat that she did what
Yes.
she could. Because listen, I wouldn't want Fenke Ball back on me none at all. Fenke Ball fell in the mix 4x4 for the Netherlands, and I know she felt it. She was not happy about it. I was concerned when she fell because she fell on her face. So I was really concerned about her. She came back, she did the 400-meter hurdles, won her event, and then she said, listen, my good friend Anika Claver, come, let us get you a medal. You run on the mixed 4x4, no medal. You run in the 400 meters, no medal. You run on the 4x1, no medal. Come, let us go and get you a medal. And so she went and she stole Jamaica's medal. She stole that medal because honestly, that run to catch Stacey and Williams there and pass her was impressive. Running a leg of that
I
magnitude,
am going to have to give
impressive.
Femke a call in and say, look here, so the next time you run and
Yeah,
realize
behave
that
yourself.
Jamaican, just slow down, please.
Behave yourself. Behave
Slow
yourself.
down.
But Sunset, again, we have to talk about the fact that Stacey Ann Williams is 24, 25. Nikisha Price, 20. Genevieve Russell, 29, 30. McLeod, 29, I think. That is still a young team.
Yes.
That is still a young team. If that team worked together, and Stacey Ann Williams is not at her best, as we know, because she had some injuries earlier in the season and she's just working back her way into form. Cherokee Young was there. She could have given a good leg. What we have is a very good team that, if everybody stays healthy next year, will be a team that will do very well at the Olympic Games coming up. Jamaica did very well. Even though we're talking about the 12 medals, the 3 golds, the 5 silvers, the 4 bronze, I want us to think about something, Sans, that you might not have recognized this. Jamaica had 5 persons in 4th place. 5
Chocolate
persons
medal.
in 4th place getting the chocolate medal. 5 persons in 5th place as well. That's another 10 persons who were so close to getting on the podium at a major
Yeah.
championships. The Jamaican team did exceptionally well at the just concluded World Championships. And to cement the exceptionally well sunset, we're going to talk about the 400 meters. Listen, I
Had
have
me
said it
in
for a number of
tears.
years. I have said it for a number of years. Antonio Watson need to go back to 400 meters. He has gone back to 400 meters. In the semifinals, the young man ran a new personal best, looking crisp and easy. He went out hard, and the first 200 came home pretty well for the semifinals. And he said, listen, when I get to the finals, I'm going to run a completely different race because guess what happened? In order for me to win, I need to be flying down the home stretch like I'm running one of those 100 meters at Boys and Girls Championships. And he did just that. My neighbor who was watching was like, Jesus, peace, what am I doing? And I said, he's doing exactly what he needs to do. I had no doubt that he would have won that race. No doubt whatsoever.
I was
When
so
I saw this,
nervous. You would think
listen,
I'm the one
Stephen
that's wrong.
Gardner is one of my favorite athletes. When I saw him pull up, I said, okay, cool. If I'm going to get so much disappointment in one world championship, I have to get some happiness somewhere. Faith Kipiegan came. She gave me a lot of happiness in the 15 and the 5. Adele Tracy, big up to
Oh
Adele
my
Tracy.
God.
I
How could
don't
we
know how
forget
Adele Tracy
her?
running 1500 meters and just smiling the whole race. She run 800 meters and just smiling. Adele has this smile on her face throughout the race, no matter what happened. A pleasure to watch her run. That was one of the nice moments for me to watch Adele Tracy. But when I saw Antonio Watson coming off the curve, sunset and heading to the finish line, I said, okay, this is it. All the person will catch him is the finish line when he switch over into that gear and cross the finish line. That is impressive. The last time a Jamaican man won the 400 meters at any championships was Bert Cameron, who won in 1984.
Yes.
That is almost 40 years ago that we would have been on the gold medal spot at the podium. The last time a Jamaican man made it to the podium was in 1997. So therefore, this was long overdue. And the fact that it is not one of our seasoned 400-meter runners who took us to this level of glory, but someone who is rediscovering their love for the event.
Yes.
It was pleasing to see. He has a great future at 400 meters. It wasn't a disappointment because we all could see what took place with the 4x4, why the team never made it to the podium. I believe the guys tried, and Sandet,
Yeah,
I
they
know you
did.
love Zandra and Barnes. I see what you have been seeing, Zandra and Barnes head up and him little foot them just a move as a move. Very good attempt from the guys. We
Yes.
didn't get
Very
there
good.
this time, but the promise is there. Again, you look at the team,
Yes.
a very young team.
Yeah.
What Jamaica brought to the World Championship is a few folks with a lot of experience and a whole heap of folks with no experience who did very well on the world stage. And that should be a sign to the overall world that, look, Jamaica is going to be a force to reckon with in a few years. Big up to the team. Big up to Antonia Watson. Big up to Danielle Williams. Big up to Sherika Jackson with the gold medals. Big up to the overall guys on the team. I don't know if you noticed this, but for the last several years, only one male has ever brought home Jamaica's medal for the men. And that has been Usain Bolt until he retired. And then we had Frederick Dakers bringing home a silver in the discus and support. The Jamaican men actually really stood up this time around, Sunday time. We took home the gold in the 400, a
Yeah.
silver and a bronze in the long jump, a silver in the 110-meter hurdles. The
Bronze in the
Jamaican
four
men
by
a
one.
bronze in the 4x100 meters. The Jamaican men stood up in Budapest and represented Team 876, Team Black, Green, and Gold very well.
Yes, indeed, Wade. And I have to jump to the comment because the people them over there going with themselves, you know. Um, oh my God, a long time I'm gonna talk about the things them we are going in the comment section. Nayoka has been putting in the work, says Tammy, and she putting in the work, making the team was well deserved. Hold on, cause the people them over here go on with themselves, you know. Roy's Vex Nicholas, you know. Hush Nick. Hush, hush, hush.
Ross is a champion at heart.
She is, and she's a championship person, and she come out. Okay, so Fluffy Ever Tight says there were two people that made the hammer throw. They only carried one. They claim they didn't have funding. Okay, well, Fluffy, I don't know about that. I don't know if there were two. I
We'll
know,
have to do some research.
yeah, well, definitely, but I definitely knew Clunis made the team because she made the team at the national championship, but then I don't think she got the distance, the qualifying distance. But then she threw again and she got the qualifying distance. Right? Wade can back me up if I'm wrong, but
Well,
we
she
can
didn't get the qualifying distance, but she was in the top 32, so she was invited by IWF.
RTO. So we don't know if it was funding, and I don't know who you're speaking of when you mention funding, but
She
then you
can
went
DM
on
me in
to
the
say,
inbox, Sunset, and we do some research.
yes, you can. So we can always talk about that, the lack of funding. Well, we don't know about the part then. But again, we just want to big up our athletes, you know, and again, we want to thank you guys so much for joining. Yes, Stacey is a real champion, you know, because even in the midst of pain, you know, she still came out and she competed. So you don't know. We want to thank you guys again for showing up in the comment section and making it fun. You know, I will also want you guys to remember to share the video, the live stream. If you have not yet subscribed, go out and subscribe right now, this minute. Thank you so much. And again, Wade, as usual, thank you so much for joining. Next week, I think this weekend we have Brussels Diamond League. Next
Tomorrow.
tomorrow, Friday.
Yes, ma'am.
Friday, Saturday. So, and then next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we will have the final leg of the Diamond League, which is the
The Prefontaine Classics.
in Eugene, Oregon. And Elaine is running tomorrow. Sharika is running tomorrow. Natasha Morrison, Sasha Lee Forbes, a couple other athletes are running tomorrow. So if we can watch and, you don't know,
Support the team.
support, cheer them on. And again, thank you so much, guys, for joining. I really, really appreciate, even though we join on such short notice, because we never send out a notification. But thank you again. Really appreciate the love. The love. Go on over to Santi Lifestyle on Instagram and follow. Go on to Santi Lifestyle Media on Facebook and like, follow, whatever them do over there, subscribe, come over to YouTube, share the videos, watch them, comment, like them, so we can start growing. All right. So thank you again, Wade. I appreciate you always being here.
Anytime, Sunset.
Thank you. Wrong way, but all right. See you next week, guys. See you next week, same time at 7 p.m. Ciao. I'm out.
Ciao.
Alrighty.